Guys, welcome back to another video. This is the Football Connect. I'm your host Sam, and we are back again with another one. As it is exciting time, people. It is time. The Premier League is back, baby, in under 24 hours, or even 23 hours now. From now, we'll be kicking off with our first match. It's gonna be exciting. I'm really excited. I want to know your thoughts in the comment section. First thing, I want to know, where are you watching us from? And which team do you support? And what are your predictions over the first fixtures of the first week of the Premier League? I'm going to be here writing down whatever that I say and maybe checking it on the review show when we check if we even got anything correct to what I'm going to be predicting here. It's exciting times, and I hope you guys are ready for the Premier League, because I know I am, and I cannot wait. But before we go any further, people, click the like button. Subscribe to the Football Connect. The best way you support us here, people. It's going to be exciting. Let's hear where you are watching us from, like I asked, and let's see what happens. So, we have a few games that are going to be covered today, and it's going to be exciting because all of those games are going to be screened live, and I'll try by means to catch as much as I can, and maybe some of them I'll check them out a bit. The bigger games, of course, I'm going to be watching them because it's really important, because I'm going to be seeing, I want to pay attention to the teams that opens the league really proper, because it's going to be exciting. Do you know that the last, I don't know how many managers of Liverpool, this is just a crazy stat that I saw, all the Liverpool managers in the Premier League season, every single time whenever Liverpool has a new manager, they have never won any game that they play. Klopp, I think he had a draw. I think Rodgers was beaten. Say Kenny Dalglish, I think he drew or something like that. It's just fun. Just go check it out, people. It's funny, but it's always been a difficult. So it's going to be interesting what the Reds does against Ipswich, but that's not the only game we're going to be here to talk about. The other games, if you want the preview of Liverpool versus Ipswich, which I'm going to go do a full in-depth on it, go check it out on the Football Connect LFC. You will see there is, of course, a link. If you get into the Football Connect, you will see that, because I'm going to do a detailed analysis of the game. Of course, it's going to be played on Saturday, the early game, but we have a little problem of Manchester United versus Fulham. It's going to be an exciting one, and I cannot wait to see what it's going to be giving. So let me know your thoughts in the comment section. So I'm going to do a quick review of all the games that are going to be played on the first week, and we, of course, the big one, Chelsea versus Manchester City. What's up with Chelsea? Every single time they always find themselves playing a big game. Last season, if you remember, they played Liverpool at Stamford Bridge, and this season they're playing United. They're playing City, which is funny because some of the league preseason games of the Premier League, they were also giving that idea of maybe Chelsea was supposed to face Man City until those things were changed to Liverpool. I'm not saying that was the correct thing of the games, but you know, some people like to do this league. So anyway, let's get into the game because I'm really excited. So I'm going to be putting it on the screen. I want to hear what you're expecting. So this is the quick preview of all the games that are going to be played this week. Game week 1 in the Premier League. We have Manchester United versus Fulham, which is being played tomorrow, the 16th of August. It's going to be at Old Trafford. The first time for players like, what's his name, De Ligt, as well as the other guy that they signed. They all will be featuring in this game, or I don't know if they're going to be playing. It's going to be exciting, though. We also have Ipswich versus Liverpool, the game which will be played early in the morning. I think it's actually going to be 12:30 game if you're watching in England. But if you are in the time zone that I'm in, you see that's the time we'll be watching. Then we get that, you know, the goal rush. Who missed the goal rush? This is where the excitement of the Premier League comes to play, because all of us, we know we missed the goal rush. So it's going to be exciting to see what happens here, because we have Arsenal versus Wolves, Everton versus Bournemouth versus Brighton, Newcastle versus Southampton. They're back in the league. Nottingham Forest versus Bournemouth, West Ham versus Aston Villa, or the Villains. It's going to be an exciting one, especially this one, people, because you have to keep an eye on the Hammers. The Hammers did some serious business in this transfer window, so don't be surprised. The likes of Aaron Wan-Bissaka, Somerville, they have a lot of players, as well as Brighton as well, because Brighton, because I saw somebody putting on a lineup of Brighton, and I was like, this It's a dangerous one. I don't know the formation. It was a weird one, but that's what we're here for. And the Super Sunday, like I said, this is going to be exciting. On the 18th of August, we have Brentford versus Crystal Palace, Chelsea versus Man City, as well as Leicester City versus Spurs on Monday, the 19th of August. That's how the Premier League is starting. So every single individual is going to be watching these games. Of course, they'll be excited over what happens over their teams, how they're going to perform and how they'll actually go in the game, because everyone needs their team to perform. But one thing I know for sure is that so many surprises always comes in the Premier League. Nobody really knows what happens when the Premier League hits on. But one thing I'm excited about is to predict, try to give a better preview and predict some games, because I'm not sure I know even which team is going to win. But the excitement is that I'm given the capability to predict which team I actually think that will win. So you guys also should join in the comment section if you're interested in that, because I'm telling you, it's going to be exciting. That's why we're here on the Football Connect. Anyway, let's get into it. So the first game, of course, we are looking at Manchester United, who are playing against Fulham. So what I'm going to be doing, let me just give you a preview of how I'm going to do this, because it's really important that you understand how I'm going to do it. We are going to first predict the first game of the league, which is going to be Fulham versus Manchester United, or Manchester United versus Fulham. Then we go to the big game of the week, which is, of course, Manchester City versus Chelsea. Then we start to go other games as we pick them, going back to the Liverpool versus Ipswich and the other games, so that we predict. And we end with Tottenham or Leicester City versus Tottenham. That's the game that we'll finish with at the end of the predictions. So you better follow me. It's an easy circle, but it's going to be exciting. Trust me, we'll make it exciting. I'm sure you are with me in this one. So let's go to the first game, of course, because we need to focus on what the Old Trafford's people will be offering us here. Because one thing about United, they're not really good starters, because if you remember last season when they were playing against Wolves, they did not start that game well. And I remember Onana really survived the crazy penalty which was supposed to be given, because I think he threw his hands on a keeper, and I believe it finished 1-1. So can they make a difference? Because remember now the new management that are in the Ruud van Nistelrooy, who I feel like at the end of the season, it could be the Manchester United manager. That's what I feel, people. Don't judge me. That's what I feel. But anyway, let's get into their game. Manchester United will be playing against Fulham. Look at the time that I'll be watching this game. It's my time zone. Exactly. That's when they'll be playing this game. So what are you predicting if you have to look at this team? Because it's always exciting when you get to see the squad. Of course, we know Onana will be playing for United. Onana will be playing. And I am sure that, let me just try to do a quick previews to give you the people that I think will play. I'm going to try to predict them. So it's Onana at goal. Then, of course, we will have Lisandro Martinez, who will be playing, I think, with the De Ligt. I believe Matthias De Ligt will be in there as well. Then I think on the right, we have, on the left or right? Left, I think we're going to have De Ligt. Then we'll have, at the left, we will have Dalot. Then we have Nazo. Is it Nazi Marazo or what? However you pronounce that, people. I'll eat myself. That's how I feel like. But this guy who's putting on number 3. That's the guy that I feel like will be playing on the left. Go in the midfield, of course, we have the young kid. We have Kobe Mainoo, we have Casemiro, because they still don't have actually a replacement of Casemiro. They've not managed to buy that, but it could happen before the end of the season. That's what all United fans are believing. I'm sure about that. Then after that, we have Bruno Fernandes. Or do we? Mason Mount, I think, is going to feature in. So in the midfield, it will be Mason Mount, Casemiro, then also the last one is Kobe Mainoo. Strike force, of course, remember Højlund is out. We have Marcus Rashford on the left, I believe. I don't think he should start, but I know he will start because of Erik ten Hag. Then, of course, he will put, I think this kid deserves to have a chance, Amadou Diallo. I think that they must put Ahmad, because Ahmad has really been playing so well. So I think he starts on the right. Then at the center, I think they're going to use Bruno Fernandes as a false 9. This could change, but that's how I feel like the United squad will be set up like. That's really important, really, especially with what they want to achieve this season. They have to have a clear sign over the team that they're going to be setting up and how the team will look like. It's really, really important to just see how the game will go on. Like, but that's how I feel like United will be like. I cannot really predict for Fulham. I have not been paying attention to them in the preseason, but I'm sure that Emil Smith Rowe will be one of the players that will be in the game team as well, because he has been on fire, man. He has been on fire. The other ones, of course, the goalkeepers, Lennon. We will see him, Kevin Badier, as well as can't really predict people. I don't want to lie to you. But anyway, let's move on to this. What am I expecting from the game? I expected this game to be a challenging game. First of all, the reason why I'm saying it's going to be a challenging game, because if you really visit their head-to-head stats, these two teams, the last time they were facing each other and how their head-to-head was like, in the recent memories, United were beaten at Old Trafford in February 2024. Oh, that's why I believe this is going to be an interesting one. Then, of course, United won at Fulham ground, so they literally exchanged the results. United won at their ground and Fulham won at their ground. But if I'm trying to be predicting this honestly, I should believe United, this should be a walkover. But with what we saw last season, can we just throw that in there and say that, okay, it's easy for United to win? I don't think that makes sense. I believe this is going to be a game which they are really tested. They have to prove themselves if they deserve to have a chance. Of course, Fulham, they've lost one of their best defenders who went to Chelsea, which are okay too, by the way. But one thing I'm sure about it, they still have a strong team. They still have the strong team core that is still there. And I think they will challenge. They will make this a game, an exciting game for everyone to watch. So I hope you guys are ready for this. I hope you're ready for what happens. So if this becomes difficult, it might end up in a draw, but I don't see a draw because, of course, Erik ten Hag, one thing that we've all been talking about building up to this season is that the man is under pressure. Hence, he's one of the managers who have been predicted that they could be sacked before Christmas. I don't know why, but before Christmas, because everyone, including me, we believe the fact that we see Ruud standing or sitting next to him in that Manchester United squad, that gives us a direction that he could be the next manager of Manchester United. But all of these things are things that are going to be seen. But what am I expecting when it comes to United versus Fulham? I do believe United win this game. The reason why I'm saying they win this game, it's not because they have been perfect over the season. I'm saying that because I know how the big games are like, and they're playing it at home. The crowd, of course, will be all over, and they will be trying to help Manchester United to show something exciting, to give the fans something to smile about. That's why I believe that they have this game in their bag. They must win, and I know that they could win. So I want to know your thoughts in the comment section. What is your prediction? My prediction is actually fun. I think it's going to be 2-1 to United, and the goals are going to come one from Ahmad. If he continues what he was doing in the game against the City, this kid is going to be on fire. So the goals are going to come from Ahmad, and I think one will come from Fernandes, Bruno. The reason why I'm saying Bruno, because that goal he scored, and it was taken as an offside, I feel like he wants to prove to the Premier League that he deserves to where he is, as well as the new contract to show that he is really going to back the contract like everyone expects him to back his charge. Anyway, we'll see how that one plays out like. But one thing I'm believing is that United will win this game. Fulham will put on a fight. I'm not refusing that. They'll put on a fight, but at the end of the day, the team that wins this game, the manager that will walk out with a victory in Old Trafford, will be Erik ten Hag. So my prediction is Manchester United 2, Fulham 1. It might be Smith or who score, because I feel like he's really have been proving to people that he's on fire. So that's what I believe will happen. So let me hear your predictions in the comment section over the United games. What are you expecting over this squad? Do you think that they have what it takes to actually win? Which moves us to our second game, and this is the big game of the week. Manchester City, they are going to be playing Chelsea. In fact, they are going to Chelsea's ground, and I'm telling you, this is a game that is full of surprises. Of course, before we go far, we have to talk about the youngster who got injured, the City youngster who now is forcing City to actually do some business It's Oscar Bob. He picked up a crazy knock in training, according to some researches that I had. So he's gonna be out for some time. I understand it was really a terrible injury, and I'm hoping that he's able to recover very fast and he comes back in the game. But anyway, we're not here to talk about that. We're here to talk about City versus Chelsea. Before we actually go in depth with this game, can somebody help me understand this? Can you tell me which team in God's green earth has ever had how many? I'm going to count the number of keepers that are in this team. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 6 different keepers that Chelsea will be using this season. Does that even make sense? Does that even make sense? What exactly is Maresca expected to achieve with this squad as big as this? What exactly are people expecting this guy to do? I think he's gonna be the first manager who takes out a goalkeeper in the middle of a game. That's what I feel, because there are so many. Not saying that the keeper is injured, but actually take out that, okay, we are making a substitute. We need a different goalkeeper because he has so many of them. It's crazy. It's even difficult to make a team for Chelsea as well as a team for City. But I'm gonna try, because this is the big game of the week, and I'm gonna try to give it so much analysis that it deserves. So City are going to be playing Chelsea. They're coming to the ground, which is always difficult to win, which is, of course, the Chelsea ground at Stamford Bridge. It's going to be an exciting game. The reason why I think it's going to be an exciting game is because I do believe if there was any team that caused chaos to Man City last season, was Chelsea. Chelsea used to know how to cause chaos in this City team. They knew how to stop it. But the problem is this. This was under Mauricio Pochettino. Now we're talking about the Maresca. Maresca is a different manager. He is a disciple of Pep Guardiola. So one thing that he's going to be looking at or looking for in a game is how the team is controlling the game. It's going to be looking at how the team actually move, if they can control the game and actually move and help and destroy the team. But the problem with Chelsea, if you have been paying attention to them, they are self-destructing, especially at the back line. Because one thing about them, it's very easy to tell ball-playing center-backs in this team without even saying, I'm talking about the center-back. I don't think Badia Sheila is a really good ball-playing center-back. Liver Cowell, of course, is one. Who else? Fofana, I'm not really sure. You are never sure with this team, but one thing I can tell you, of course, Maresca wants control at the back. He wants a team that moves with the ball. He wants a team that has a direction on what they're doing. And I feel like that's not something that Chelsea have really been offering, to be honest. And I think that could be one thing that cost them against City. Remember, they played against the Citizens a few days back, or should I say a week back, when they were playing in the what was that? In the preseason game, and the City won by 4-0. And they do not even have that strong teams. Now the De Bruyne are back, the Foden are back. It's literally going to be a different Manchester City team than the one that Chelsea faced in the preseason. But also, I'm not saying that Chelsea are going to be the same team. They will be different, because they will have some of their senior players like Enzo Fernandez, who is now their vice captain. So I'm actually expecting him to be the captain in this game under Maresca, because Chelsea felt like he's fit with what he did to become the captain of the club. I'm not going to get into that one, but I'm going to move on very fast, because I want to hear your thoughts in the comment section. Give me your prediction. What do you expect from City versus Chelsea? How do you see this game? Because this is Pep Guardiola's disciple, and the one thing I've always seen from Pep Guardiola, when he plays his disciples, he always know how to give them a big and a beautiful hammering. So that's the one thing that I'm actually wondering what is going to happen in this game. Can they have what it takes to actually play this game and actually enjoy this game? Can Chelsea cause chaos, especially they are home? They have an advantage that the fans, all of them are supporting them. So can they have what it takes to stop Man City? Can they really hurt Man City? All these are questions that everyone is asking for. Now I wonder, let me know your thoughts in the comments again. Do you think Chelsea will have the right approach to the game? Can they really hurt the team? Because it's really important that they do so. So let me know your thoughts in the comment section. What are you expecting as we look at what happens going forward? Because one thing that I want to know, are you subscribing to the Connect? Are you liking the vid? Because now I'm going to try to predict the starting lineup for the two teams. And I think for my sake and for the sake of the world, I'm going to try by means to start with the team that is away, that is coming, because not Chelsea. Anyway, let's move on. Looking at City's team, I think, of course, Ederson will be the goalkeeper. Then Kyle Walker will be left. I see Stone. I see Akanji. Akanji, and I think he'll be playing next to... Who will he be playing next to? Akanji will be playing next to John Stones. Oh, I think it's going to be, let's say, Ruben Diaz. So Akanji and Diaz will be the ones who will be in the middle, as well as Aki playing at left back. I would have said Govadio, but with the performance he showed in the FA Cup, I feel like maybe Pep Guardiola might have to question that. Is he really ready for this position? I'm not sure. I'm not really sure. Calvin Phillips is out because he's now on loan at Ipswich. By the way, if you didn't know, he's now on loan at Ipswich. I think Kovacic is in the game. I don't think Rodri plays, but I believe Kevin De Bruyne will play, as well as Bernardo Silva. So it's going to be Bernardo Silva, Kevin De Bruyne, and Kovacic. And the Kovacic, the last games I watched, he played so well with that DM position. So I think that's where Pep Guardiola might put him, because he needs that protection in that DM. And I know the best of the best is Rodri, but Rodri is just coming from an injury and is not yet, I don't think he's fit enough to be playing in the game. So that's how I see it being set up. Like up forward, we'll have Jeremy Doku, Haaland, and I don't think it's going to be Savinho. I think they will put Philip Foden. I believe Philip Foden will be playing either in the midfield or at the wing. They will exchange either with Bernardo Silva. So it's going to be interesting, because I think the most important thing that Pep Guardiola must have to do, and he has to do when he's looking at how he set up his team, is to look at somebody who's very, very good and with a good intelligence in terms of helping the team to defend whenever they're under pressure. So I might find them that in the midfield he puts Bernardo Silva, then maybe later on changes to put what's his name, Phil Foden. They won't be going out and they'll just be swapping the positions. That's how I feel, because I feel like Bernardo Silva might actually be a good cover for Kovacic if he's exposed in the midfield. So that's how I see the team being set up. Like, I want to know yours in the comment section. What are you expecting City to set up against Chelsea? Let's go to Chelsea. In terms of goalkeeper, I think we have seen them using Molly, this guy. Sanchez, I think that's the guy who has been playing. In defense, I do believe, of course, it's going to be, what's his name? It's going to be Gusto, because Reece James is out with an injury. And I think they will put Liverpool next to Fofana. Then we'll have Cucurella, because he had an amazing tournament at Spain. But that's how I feel. Then Tosin will be, maybe will come in as time goes on, but Cucurella will be on the left. Then in the midfield, of course, Enzo Fernandez gets in. We will also see Moises Caicedo. Then I think he will put Romeo Lavia. The reason why I think he's going to try to play a double pivot of Romeo Lavia and Caicedo. Then on top of that, he will put Enzo Fernandez as like that number 10 in his formation. I don't know. That's what I think. Then up forward in terms of striker, of course, Lukaku is not even in the team. So I believe he will put Nkunku. I think Nkunku comes back. He's going to be in strike force. Then after Nkunku, we will see, what's his name, Cole Palmer. Then after Cole Palmer, then I think he will put either Madueke or maybe Makai Mundre or Christopher Nkunku from that left side. It's going to be interesting to see how we'll set it up. But that's how I feel like he will do this team. It's impossible to predict when you are looking at Chelsea's teams. There are so many. And I don't think it's really fair to do a combined 11 with the way Chelsea have been performing. So I'm not going to really waste my time on that. So what am I expecting from the game? Can I give a prediction and a proper prediction over what I think the two teams will offer and how the game will go on? Like, I'm going to try to do that, because I think there's a lot of things that you might be not seeing here, and it's going to be exciting. I do believe Chelsea will put on a fight. One thing that they did so well when they were with Pochettino was to create chaos in which Pep Guardiola lost control and he was not able to deal with the control loss that he was suffering in the hands of Chelsea, which forced him to try and push things to work in his direction. But it was not easy because Chelsea knew what they were doing in the midfield. They used the speed, causing chaos to the likes of Kyle Walker as well as Gvardiol, whoever was playing Nathan Ake. I feel like that's the same thing that happens in this game. But the difference between those other games and this game is this. City, for the first time, they will win this game because their manager, Maresca, is a manager who likes to control a lot of things, the Chelsea manager. So how do you think one of the best managers in controlling football will pair up with his disciples? Of course, Pep Guardiola has always come up on top with these types of games. Mikel Arteta has come close, but he's the only one of all the disciples of Pep Guardiola. So let me know your thoughts in the comment section. My prediction is that Manchester City will win this game by 3-0. Yes, you heard me correctly, by 3-0. So I'm going to be putting it down. So it's going to be, like I said, it's going to be a 3-0 to Manchester City because I just feel like they have what it takes. I do believe that they will hurt this team. So the first one that I predicted was Fulham versus Man U. And I said United will win by 2-1. Now I'm saying Chelsea versus Man City. That'll be 3-0 to City. So that's how I see this game. The reason why I'm writing this predictions papers is because we're gonna revisit them in the preview shows and see how many I got right and how many I got wrong. So that's how I look at the game. I want to know your thoughts in the comment section. Who do you think has the upper hand? Who do you think will hurt the other team? Let me know your thoughts in the comment section as we are moving on to the other games which are going to be played this week. Because of course it's the game week 1, so there will be a lot of games, and of course because it's game week 1, you find that we'll be excited and we want to catch as many games as we can. But on this game that is coming is Liverpool versus Ipswich Town. An interesting game, people. An interesting game because one thing that we've come to know, if you have been paying attention to Liverpool, they don't really do well when it comes to the newly promoted teams. They don't really perform so well over what happens in the game. But one thing I feel like today, because it's a new manager, he would want to prove something. I'm sure about it. I know he will want to prove something. That's why I tending to believe that as much as we think it's going to be a walkover, it's going to be an easy game, they might pull out something. And my prediction is 2-1 to Liverpool. The reason why I'm saying 2-1 is because it's going to be one of those games that you will ask so many questions over what happens and how the game is going on. Like, I cannot really talk so much about the Ipswich, but we don't really know. Their last head-to-head, they were 10 and they drawn 3. 5 were Liverpool wins. The other 2 were from Ipswich, and the last game that they played, Liverpool won by 5-0. The game before that, they won by 6-0. But look at the time, 2002, 2001. What happened in 2024? The difference, man. How many years? I think a child was born, grown already, ready now an adult, ready to run and do so much since the last game that they played. Because in 2022 to now, it's almost around 21 or 22 years. Let me know in the comment section. I think it's 22 years. That's how far these two teams lastly played each other. So we don't know what to expect. We don't know what will happen, but it will give an exciting performance. That's what we want as the fans. Anyway, let me know your thoughts in the comment section. What are you thinking over this game? I predicted, I think I did. Did I? I'm predicting that Liverpool wins this game by 2-1. The reason why I'm saying that is because it's at home of Ipswich. And I'm not expecting Liverpool to run with this team just to beat them like that, because I feel like Arne Slot has to start on a high and he has to perform, and the only time he's going to perform is either he win this game. And it's really important because it will help him to elevate and it will give us a direction over exactly what he's trying to achieve. So that's why I'm saying that it's going to be a win to Liverpool by 2-1. I'm expecting a clean sheet, but you might be surprised. Anyway, we'll see. I won't be surprised if it's a massacre as well, but we are not yet in that world. This is just the world we are living in right now, where I'm predicting that Liverpool wins easily, but don't be surprised that it could be a different game. Then we have a small problem of Arsenal versus Wolves. One thing about Arsenal, and I've said it, they are going to have one of the strongest defenders in the team, in the league, because of how they keep strengthening that position. And I think Wolves, as much as they are a good team, as much as I'm expecting them to do good things, it's not gonna be easy to pass this Arsenal at their home ground with their fans watching them, with their fans enjoying them. It's never gonna be easy. That's why I predict Arsenal might beat Wolves by 5-0. This is the high 5-1 or 2-0. This is the first game with so many goals. The reason why I'm saying that is because of Arsenal. It's because of their defense and how the likes of Saka will hurt the teams on the other side. They will make sure that is done. They will make sure that they put everything on the line. And that's why I feel like it's going to be an easy walkover. Look at their last games which they played in terms of the last game, how much Arsenal won. Oh, it was by 2-0. But look at this, 2022, 5-0 to Arsenal, 2-1. So maybe let's call it maybe 2-0 or 3-0. Let me just say 3-0. I thought it was going to be 5-0, but don't be surprised. That's my other second prediction. Let me know your thoughts yours in the comment section, because I just feel like Arsenal are just a bigger team to this team. I just feel like they have a stronger team. They are at home. They will get the job done. They will definitely get the job done, because they have everything on their side. That's why I'm predicting them to be winners. The next game we're going to be watching is Everton versus Brentford, in a game which is going to be played at the Merseyside side, where we have to witness what happens with Everton, as they are on a threat of also other points deduction as well. That's why it's going to be exciting to see how they do this game against Brighton, a Brighton that has really strengthened so much during summer. They've made their team very, very dangerous to play against. So do you think that they have an advantage to get something in this game, Everton? One might say yes, especially with their last finish, the way they played in their last time. But Brentford, they are not also a walkover. Look at how many draws they have had in their last games. You'll be surprised. I too also maybe might have to agree with their last result, that this might end up as a 2-2 draw. As much as we have a new manager who's going to be different, and maybe a new manager bounce could give so many different results, but I feel like Everton at their own home ground with their fan base behind them, they will try to cause chaos. And in trying to cause chaos, they'll get away with murder. That's why I'm predicting that this could be a draw. What are you seeing it in the comment section? Do you think that Everton has what it takes to even perform in this game, or they'll be beaten easily? Let me know in the comment section. It's going to be exciting as we are moving on the other games. What are you expecting from the Everton game? Do me that. Click the like button. Subscribe to the Football Connect as we move on to Newcastle, who are going to be playing against Southampton, a newly promoted team, a team that was out and they're back again. So this is going to be an interesting game. The reason why I think it's going to be an interesting game is because Southampton wants to prove something, but with the way Newcastle's season finished last time, they also owe their fans something to smile about. Hence why I believe that it's going to be an interesting game, because it might leave us with so many questions rather than answers. So how do I see this game going? If you look at that head-to-head, which is really important to always pay attention. If you look at that head-to-head, in their 14 form games, they have 9 drawn, and Newcastle has won more, which is of course 19-16. But they've always pushed each other. The last game that they played, Newcastle beat them by 3-1, as well as 4-1, and then 2-1, then 2-2. So there has been a difference between the Newcastle of old and the Southampton of new. But what am I expecting from this Southampton team? That's where my question starts to rise. Can I just say that, okay, because they're Newcastle, it's going to be an easy walkover and they win the game? I don't think so, because I think it's going to be demanding so much from this team. So somehow when I look at this game, I feel like it should be draw, but I think Newcastle will win this game by 3-2. The reason I'm saying 3-2 is because I think Southampton will want to prove something, that we belong in the Premier League, and they will try to score goals. Do I think that Newcastle has what it takes to stop Southampton? I don't think so. But that's why the excitement of football always hits up in this moment. So we'll see how this one plays out. Like, that's my prediction. 3-2 to Newcastle. They will win, but just about, or maybe they'll just wash the floors with this team. That's the excitement of prediction, people. You just throw what you feel like it can stick. But anyway, let's continue. As Nottingham Forest, one of the teams that I feel like they might be relegated. Nottingham Forest, they will be playing against Bournemouth, a Bournemouth team that has been working on really improving their team, and I feel like they're a strong team now. And because of that, I don't feel like it would be wrong if I predicted that Bournemouth might win this game by 3-2-1. The reason why I'm saying that, let's go to their stats. Let's go to their head-to-head. There were so many draws, but look at Bournemouth. They are the last one to win. So do you think Nottingham Forest has what it takes to stop this Bournemouth team? And look where they beat them at their own home ground, and that's where they're starting. That's why I believe Bournemouth will beat this team, because they always cause chaos in this game. So we'll see how this game plays out like, because I want to know your thoughts in the comment section. Do you think that Bournemouth has what it takes to beat Nottingham Forest, or Nottingham Forest will just rise from the dead and really try to do something amazing? But we'll keep an eye on to that, and we'll see what happens. But look at this. Like I'm saying, it's easy. It's really easy to see. But we're not here to just say it's really easy to see. We're here to give an analysis. That's why I'm giving my analysis that Nottingham Forest will lose to Bournemouth, because I feel like it's going to be a crazy one. As we move on to one of the biggest games of the week, where we'll be watching West Ham United play against Aston Villa in a mouth-watering clash. I believe this is a game that people are not paying attention to, but this is a one who has risen to the throne, is about to play a team that wants to be on the throne of those teams that are coming outside of the top 6 to represent in the Hammers. So don't be surprised that this game does not end as much as people expect, because it's going to be really, really, really exciting to see what happens. But one thing I know, because it is at West Ham home ground, they've made so many signings. They have so many players who are ready to debut. They look strong. They have the striker from Dortmund who looked like he was one of the best. So what do you think will happen here? Because my prediction, I feel, and this is really important, I feel like they should try by means to perform, because it's going to be an interesting one. But one thing I think will happen is this: West Ham will beat Aston Villa, or they'll draw. I don't know. Let me just go on the draw. I think it's going to be a 2-2 draw, because I'm telling you, it's difficult to separate these teams. It's really difficult to separate these teams, because they look dangerous. They look like they are teams that are really ready for chaos and to challenge. And that's why I cannot pretend and lie that I believe this is just going to be an easy game and walkover. Brentford. They will be playing against which team? Which team are they playing against? Against Crystal Palace. And I feel like this is a game that we have to keep an eye on, because of how good Crystal Palace is. Because Crystal Palace have a way of that they play that always surprise the world. They have a way that they play that they give their best into the game, and that's why I feel like they have the upper hand. Crystal Palace will beat Brentford at their home ground. Of course, Brentford are really energized by the fact that Tony is remaining. I get all this, the sentimental and everything. It's all crap. When it comes to real football, This new manager of Crystal Palace is playing exciting football. The players like Arthur Morton are still in the team, and they will definitely contribute to help the team. That's why, and of course, they still are keeping Gay. Gay has not yet been signed by Newcastle. We've been trying to get him. So I do believe that they have all the parts that they need to win the game. So my prediction is this: Crystal Palace will win this game by 4-1. Brentford will score 1 goal, but all the other 4 goals are coming from Crystal Palace because they are really good. They know how to take advantage of those loose spaces, especially teams that opens up the spaces. They will suffocate. So I don't know how this one will play on, because they need to find the right way to play this game. So let me know your thoughts in the comment section over the game. What are you expecting? Because a lot can happen. Anyway, as we are moving on, we go to the Friday, the last game of the tournament, as we are going to be seeing Leicester City play against Tottenham Hotspur. This is going to be a difficult season for Leicester because they're already coming in the season with point deduction, or it's being rumored this could be. But what happens in the first game? Do they have what it takes to beat Spurs? If they were still with Maresca, it could have been a different game, but the problem, they lost Maresca, a good manager. Now they're dealing with so many, and they're not even sure where they're going to stand or whatever they're going to do. So one thing I'm sure for a fact is that Tottenham will win this game. They'll win it maybe by about 2-0. I feel like they have what it takes. They will make sure that they get it, and we'll see what happens. Let me know your thoughts in the comment section. What are you expecting from these teams that I'm just predicting here? Do they have what it takes? Spurs versus Leicester. Let me know your thoughts in the comment section. Do you think that they have what it takes? So like I said, it's going to be 2-0 to Spurs. So these are all my predictions on all the games that are coming in the Premier League this week. We have, let me put it on the big screen, people. We are going to have, and let's actually say it the right way. We will have Man City play against Chelsea. We will have Liverpool play against Ipswich. We will have United play against Fulham. We have the Wolves take a visit to Emirates Stadium. Then Tottenham Hotspur will end it up with what's the name? Wolves. It's going to be exciting to see what happens. So my predictions, like I said, remember those ones. Fulham versus United, 2-1 to United. Chelsea versus Man City, 3-0 to Man City. Ipswich versus Liverpool, 2-1 to Liverpool. Arsenal versus Wolves, it's going to be 3-0 to Arsenal. Everton versus Brighton is going to be 2-2 draw, as well as Newcastle versus Southampton is going to be 3-2 to Southampton. Sorry, not Southampton. Nottingham Forest are going to be playing against Bournemouth, which is going to end 3 to Bournemouth, 1 to Nottingham Forest. I know people think that because Solanke is no longer at Bournemouth, you think that they're dead, they won't score goals. I've got a surprise for you. Trust me, they're going nowhere. Brentford are going to be playing against Crystal Palace. It becomes Crystal Palace 4, Brentford 1, 0-2, 0-2, as Leicester City will be 0, as well as Spurs will be 2. So let me know your thoughts in the comment section. What are you expecting from this week's preview, and how do you think the games will go on? Go watch again what I thought of United. Go watch the Chelsea as well analysis, as well as the Liverpool and all the other games that comes. There was a quick analysis of all the games that are going to be played starting tomorrow going forward, and I know everyone is as excited as I am. So don't forget to click the like button. Don't forget to subscribe to The Connected, the home of sports, the best way you can support us. And also don't forget to go check out the Football Connect LFC, where you find most of my Liverpool content will be found there. Of course, there'll be that I'll put here, but most of them will be found there. So go check it out. It's really important. They help us grow, people. Don't just come and watch. Leave after you have pressed the like button, after you have subscribed, and don't forget to tune on live as we do the match reactions of all the games which is played, except the Liverpool game. Of course, I'll do the reaction, but the ratings and the stuff, I won't be doing them here, as well as I'll do that as the Man City game, as this is the biggest game of the week. So be excited over all the little things that are going to be excited, because All of this will tell us what the season is holding. Don't forget to click the like button. Don't forget to subscribe. The best way you can support us. I'm out, people. Like that video. See me on another side. We're out. Peace. Subscribe.
Beats the goalkeeper. He's just lost for words. He is just brilliant. Georgie Best, Diego Maradona, Johan Cruyff.